It was a giant bag of cocaine. Holy shit, guys, we got her. The largest collection of dildos. Okay, so what I want to do with chat is watch these videos, right? Investigative like pieces like this or whatever with you guys because they're interesting. We don't watch the whole damn thing. It's 3 hours long. But I kind of wanted to watch like some interrogations with you guys because I find these very interesting. If you guys find them interesting, you guys can hang out, watch them with me.
Before scene footage is one of the craziest interrogations you'll ever see.
Hey, I could grab you here and strangle you with it.
Oh my gosh, why would you say that?
I don't know. I don't know.
She's a fucking weirdo.
You want to see real horror? This is real horror, right?
I'd like to see how fast my pigs could get rid of a human body.
An officer conducting a search warrant for identity theft on a rural farm in Weimar, Oregon.
All right, well, we're moving out of Oregon now.
He found the skeletal remains of a human leg just outside of a pig pen.
Possibly human.
As horrific as this discovery was, the true horrors hidden on the property were yet to be discovered. The farm was owned by Susan Monica, a former soldier who served in the Navy during the Vietnam.
All right, well, this is just bad all in all. For the record, people, that's a normal Oregonian. You walk out on the street, you understand why Ziah's single, okay? That's a 19-year-old Oregonian right there.
Additionally, in 2013, Susan placed an ad on Craigslist looking for some extra help on her property. She was contacted by 56-year-old Robert Haney, a handyman and carpenter, in exchange for payments in cash and a place to stay. Susan Monica was brought in for questioning. The following footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed attorney and former criminal prosecutor, a licensed clinical psychologist, a former licensed professional counselor, and a clinical counselor.
And the lot number indicates you as the sole owner since 1999. And
There you go. Say that again.
the sole owner since 1999.
Okay. We're done. And any and all information received in a warrant that's not correct is not.
And like breaking down the lingo and being like, oh yeah, you can't actually use that. And a lot of people, you can get warrants for a person in their vehicle, but if the item you're looking for is on another person, they cannot get it. There's a lot of things.
Wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of legalities in search warrants that aren't taken care of properly. Any information they do get is dismissible in court. So if they did go down there on a bad search warrant and they found all these bodies, and bones and stuff like that, it wouldn't matter.
Michael Bales, who worked for Susan and lived on her property for a few months, came to speak with investigators soon after she was arrested. And boy, did he have a story to tell.
Bad cop, good cop?
No, we're both good cops.
Getting him to lighten up and laugh and stuff like that's really, really good. These guys are fucking pros. Maybe not these ones.
Every now and then.
Here would like to buy some pork. I have pork.
They're up, Jack.
80 cents a pound. I'm getting ready to get rid of another pig.
Chat.
The detective laughs and appears to be genuinely finding Susan's story funny.
These are organic, human-fed, grass-fed pigs. No digestion
Human-fed pigs.
of humans whatsoever. It's food for humans and food for thought.
Although some dismiss body language analysis as pseudoscience, it is used by the FBI and CIA during interrogations.
Guys, if you guys don't know this, I don't think Ziah knows this. I was under FBI investigation for a while back in Florida. And it was
what?
Literally for the stupidest reason ever. I have been investigated and interrogated by the FBI. And I had to sign a form saying I fucked up. I had, not even kidding you, well, what happened was in our barracks there was an increased amount of like drugs and weapons being allowed on base, and you're not allowed on base, okay? Especially drugs. You're not supposed to be doing drugs in the military. And I lived in the barracks. I had this nice apartment room, and they had to come through. They kicked us out, made us sit in front of our rooms, and then drug searched our whole entire rooms and looked for weapons, knives. You could have knives, you could have guns, anything like that, right? And they found some of the weirdest shit possible. Human blood. This guy had like a crap ton of human blood. And it's for doping. It's for when people are doing steroids, they cycle it into there, and then they cycle the human blood into themselves, right? It's really weird, but
Wild.
the largest collection of dildos ever found was on base. lots of drugs, lots of guns, bottled up semen. There was a girl had a bunch of bottled up semen, but she was trying to inseminate herself, get pregnant to get out of deployment. That was wild. But in my room, I had chalk for working out, like for your hands, so your hands stay dry when you're lifting and stuff. And I had chalk.
Oh wait, I know this story.
They thought
Oh my
it was
god.
cocaine, so they brought in a drug sniffing dog, and this guy like was for sure. It was a giant bag of cocaine, of chalk, right? And it was on my microwave, and I put it out, right? And they like came in, had their dog search and all this shit, right? It was crazy, and I was like, whatever. It obviously wasn't, but I had these little CO2 canisters because I would airsoft, but I had to keep all my guns off base because you're not allowed to bring airsoft guns on base because of whatever reasons, right? So I had like some CO2 canisters in my room, and that's an explosive device. So says the FBI. So I went into an investigation by the FBI and the NCIS, and the whole stupid thing led from it. And I had to sign this piece of paper being like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. I did have explosive devices on base. I hate how stupid that is. But I had to do it. I literally had to do it. They like literally walked in, and he was like, read the report. He's like, this is the stupidest thing. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, they said it was an explosive device. And they were like, he's like, this is fucking stupid. Just sign this paper and get out of here. And I was like, sweet.
Susan is clasping her hands together on her lap and fidgeting, which appears to be a
My kids are fucked. They're never gonna lie to me.
release of tension and
I'm just gonna watch all this. I'm gonna become like a perfect investigator, right? And then when my kids lie to me when they're like in school or whatever, I'm like, hey, do you have any drugs in your room? And they're like, no. I'm gonna be like, fine ass bitch, share some.
How about actions? Like, what did she do around the property?
Drove her backhoe around, knocked down trees, fought with Robert constantly.
Even when I saw him, it was sporadic. We didn't talk.
Like daily?
In the words of Anderson .Paak, this bitch. Give them enough information where now when they cross-examine her, they can ask her questions and see if either of them are truthful or either of them are lying, or if she's lying too. So that's some really good information. I'd be like,
black.
Well, I don't know if it was actual working or not.
Okay.
Susan shifts her foot, likely an anchor point.
Susan shift her foot. Holy shit, guys, we got her. We absolutely get rolled, Susan. Shift your feet again. I'm shifting my feet right now, Chad.
I don't know if it was
This is considered to be an anchor point movement. These types of behaviors can be a signal of deception.
What? Have you heard of this? It's a,
Oh, yeah,
it's
I've
a
heard of
way of
that.
releasing anxiety or tension. That's crazy. I think it might not be deception always. I think it could be if it's a stressful conversation. You should
Yeah.
wait too, because like I know like when I talk to like T's parents or whatever, like I do that a lot. I've noticed myself do that a lot because I'm like, I'm like stressed. They're judging me, dog. But,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm out there just bullshit.
Well, that's always the hard part when it comes to reading
Exaggerates.
body language is there's a lot of things that like could be taken as like lying because it then attributes to, like what you're saying with like the release of tension and stuff. But sometimes people are shifting simply because like it's an uncomfortable situation, or maybe they're just uncomfortable because they've been sitting in the same position for 2 fucking hours in a chair. You know what I mean?
I think that's super fair, and I think that's why the previous point made by the narrator was not all like you can't just use body language to determine if someone's lying. So that's cool though. I didn't know that. Next time me and her are talking and she shifts, slapping that bitch upside the head. This woman served in Vietnam, Susan. I'll say her name.
Served in
I know
Vietnam.
that was loud. I was like, yeah.
Fucking bitch.
Shit, man, my thug
How dare
side
she
came
serve
out. I
in
apologize. But she served in Vietnam, which means that she might have like some sort of PTSD or like war trauma or things like that. So it is really likely in individuals like that to have a sort of temper or a sort of like reactionary PTSD. So what this guy is saying is it's cap. He's lying. This man's lying.
Captain Crunch.
I just stopped giving people that much power. That's why I can cuss out the police. Also, because I'm white,